Hey. Danie C. Muniz, our games master, and also she is speaking today about honoring your sacred rhythm, unlocking your unique flow. So, Danie has appeared on national television, on American Idol, and The Voice. Wait a second. Wait a second. You're a singer?
I am.
Are you gonna give us a little blessing with that today? Because I'm gonna hold my fingers crossed just so
We'll see.
we'll see. Okay, all right. She's worked with organizations such as the Walt Disney Company, Wells Fargo, Starbucks, as a consultant for Bob Proctor, and a leadership trainer. She's a spiritual counselor and intuitive astrologer for over 15 years. She's helped healers, coaches, and conscious leaders release traumas, fears, generational and ancestral paradigms that are holding them back from fulfilling their soul's evolution. Through the years, she has studied the mind, the body, the spirit, acquiring multiple certifications and degrees in various modalities, including Bachelor's of Psychology and Metaphysical Science. She's a leader in the field of metaphysics and intuitive astrology. Her practice focuses primarily on helping people move forward in life and business by healing the past, present, and future. Danie is known to be a master at seeing beyond the tangible, mixing 5D with 3D application. She resides in Austin, Texas, with her soulmate and their pug, handsome Jake. Okay, we got to see a picture of that pug.
He's asleep right here next to me on his bed.
All right, Danie, I'm going to let you do your magic. All right, girl?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for the opportunity to be here with you today. Also, to be your games master. It's been so fun being your games master today. I've absolutely enjoyed it, and I look forward to chatting with you today. So, we are going to dive into one of my favorite topics, which is sacred rhythms. But before we go there, I want to tell you just a little quick story. I just want you to come with me for a second to my bathroom floor. And I'm sitting on my knees. There's throw up all around me. My hands are shaking. My heart is beating fast. And I can't stop crying. And I can't even catch my breath. There's a decision that I have to make. And I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I'm strong enough to make it, because if I do, it's going to change my whole entire life. And that decision is to not get married to a man that I had been with for 11 years. That was my abuser. And so I knew I had to make the decision, and I knew I had to say no. But there was so much pressure around me. So much pressure to get married, because I was the ripe old age of 33 years old. And my parents wanted grandchildren from me. I had a house already. I bought a house. I had a successful career. I was actually managing a branch at a credit union. And I was one of the youngest managers. So I had everything going for me. And on the outside, I pretended that I did. But in the inside, I was dying. And I knew that this decision was going to be really hard, because it wasn't just a decision not to marry him. It was a decision to choose me. And so there on that bathroom floor, I chose me for the very first time in my life. And I chose to go on a different path. I chose to say no to all of the noise of everybody else's expectations of my life. And I started to say yes. I started to say yes to me. And all the things that I had no clue about. Because let me tell you, at this point in my life, I'm 33 years old, and I had followed the path so beautifully that everybody else had said that I had no clue, like legit, no clue. If you would have asked me, like, what's your favorite music? What's your favorite food? I'm like, I don't know. What do you like? I did not know. I just kind of went along with everything and just expected things to come out. And so I went on this year of saying yes. And I started reading all of these personal development books and started taking all these classes and went on this journey. And so here I am 12 years later. 12 years later, 45, believe it or not, I know. 45. And I can tell you that it has been a journey of discovering who I am. And it has been a journey going against the grain, because I know a lot of you here are probably not with the grain. You're probably going against the grain. You probably have people out there that think you're crazy. What are you doing? What are you doing talking to angels? What is going on? I definitely would have never considered myself that person, never would have considered myself a healer, never would have considered myself to be in the spiritual realm. I was actually a devoted Catholic for majority of my life until I decided to step into the spiritual world, and I haven't looked back. I came out of the spiritual closet and I dove into my favorite topic, which is astrology. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is astrology, but I want to talk about it in a couple of different ways, because I know if I know you guys here, you guys probably are somewhat familiar with astrology. Let me know in the chat. Do you have like a little bit of a knowledge about astrology? You have a lot of knowledge about astrology. So if I were to be like, we have a full moon today in Aries, which is in opposition to our sun in Libra, would you know what I mean? Or you're like, what the heck did she just say? Yes. Okay, good. We've got some people who love astrology here. I'm good. Yay. Okay. And Christy's learning all about astrology. I love it. Okay, cool. So one of the things I want to talk about is we have different seasons. Y'all know the different seasons. We have 4 different seasons, right? We've got spring, summer, fall, and winter. What are we currently in? We're currently in fall here in North America, although I live in Texas, so it definitely does not feel like fall yet, because we still got like 80 degrees here and, the beautiful sun. But each season has its own rhythm. It has its own style. And so like spring, we know is like, we're awakening, right? This is new beginnings. This is new projects. There's hope, right? We move into summer and there's this high energy. It tends to be a lot more productive. There's celebrations, there's high energy, abundance. Like it's just, we're overflowing. If you think about it, right? We're traveling, we're gathering together, we're having those barbecues, or we're, going out to the river, to the lake, to the beach, depending on where you live. And then we move into fall, which we're in right now, right? And fall is where we harvest. Fall is where we actually let go, right? Our leaves are changing colors. They're falling off the trees. I've never had, so our home here in Texas has, when we first moved here, there in our planter in the front yard, there's these annular, or I guess that's what you call them. I don't know, but they're annular plants. So I need to talk to Amanda more because I'm like, I don't know a lot. No, Amelia, not Amanda. Amelia. I need to talk to Amelia more because I don't know a whole lot about the plants. But the plants, like they just bloom every year. And so like the first year when we were here, they all died, in my opinion. I was like, they're all dead, and we're gonna have to uproot these things and reap annuals. Thank you, Amelia. See, I knew Amelia would know. So they're perennials. That's what they are. So perennial, see, I knew I had it wrong. They come back. So they all died, and I thought like, oh, I'm gonna have to dig them all up and replant new ones. And then the next year they all came back, and I was like, oh my goodness, they were beautiful. But that was the beautiful thing of like this season, the plants, they let go. They release what no longer serves them. And so this season right now that we're in, this is that time. This is our time to release and to let go. And then we get into winter. Colder months, yes, but winter is a time for stillness. It's a time for introspection. If you think about it, it's a time where we come inside, right? There's a lot more indoor activities. We're mostly connecting socially, but it's a lot more, it's more internal, right? It's more inside. There's deep inner work that we get to do during this time, and there's planning. The winter season is all about planning for our spring. We're getting ready for that spring season. And so each of these seasons has, as you see, its own rhythm, right? But we also, each individually, have our own season. So let me ask you, if you were to look at those 4 seasons I just mentioned, spring, summer, fall, winter, you personally, what season would you say you are in right now? Spring being that new beginnings, new projects, that hope. Summer being that high energy, productivity, celebrating. Fall, letting go of those beliefs. Winter, that deep inner work. Oh, look at this. We've got spring. Tiffany's in spring. Monica's in spring. Amelia's in winter. Ooh, I love it. Christy's in winter. Noelle's in winter. I love it. I am definitely in winter myself. Ona said fall, winter. Okay, so she's got some letting go and doing some introspection. Amanda says she's not sure. Okay. Yeah, spring is my favorite season too. Actually, I think fall is probably my top, and then depends on the area of my life. I love that you mentioned that, Judy, because that is also, right? So we have like an overall season, right? But then depending, like maybe my business, right? Maybe I'm starting a new project in my business. And so maybe in my business, I'm in spring, but in my relationships, maybe we're doing some deep work together, right? So maybe we're in winter. Maybe I'm in, spring in another area, and with money, right? We're planting those new seeds. We just talked to Wendy, right? We're all excited. Or maybe we're doing the deeper inner work, right? To prepare. So you can look at these different seasons and you can look at this for yourself. Just because, my friend, I just want to tell you right now, just because the calendar says it is October 17th doesn't mean anything. Just because January 1st rolls around doesn't mean that's the beginning of the year. It doesn't mean that you better have all your goals together. You better have all your goals together and get ready to go. Doesn't mean that at all. You get to decide what that means for you. That was something that I learned in my year of yes. I learned that I did not have to follow what everybody else was doing. And it was really hard because it's so comfortable to go along with what everybody else is doing. But yet, when I started to look at like, well, what do I want to do? I started to see that I didn't have to start my goals on January 1st. And then when I got into astrology and I learned that Aries was the beginning of the year, I was like, wait, so I don't have to wait till like April to have all my stuff together? That was fantastic. So what I want to do in the short amount of time that I have today is to kind of give you a little bit of a taste of what we can look at in astrology to figure out your sacred rhythm. Because Amanda was like, I'm not sure, maybe winter, right? She said, probably winter. But we can look from an astrological perspective and say, where are things lining up for me right now? Where am I? And so for those of you that are also entrepreneurs, that are also that running your own business, there's also, you can look at the seasons to see, where am I at right now in my business? And where would be the ideal time energetically for me to launch my program? For me to be speaking on stages, right? We heard earlier about speaking on stages. When's the best time for me to be out there speaking? Because again, there are certain times of the year where you actually should be taking time off. And it may not be over the summer. It may not be over the holidays. It might be something completely different. So if somebody would like to volunteer to for us to take a look at your astrological chart, I just need you to DM me. So in the comments, private message me your birth information. So I need your birth date, the time that you were born, and your location. So whoever can give that to me in the chat, I will go ahead and pull your chart and I'll take a look and see what your rhythm is. Okay, I got somebody first. All right, Amanda. She got it all. She told me exactly all the things that I needed. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the chart first, and then I'll get you up here, Amanda, and then we'll talk about this. Yeah, this is exciting. Okay, September. Let me go back. And just so you know, for those of you that are like, oh, this is cool, I want this. Well, if you did VIP, you actually get this. You get to do this with me. We get to hop on a Zoom call and do this together. So if you were still looking for a reason to upgrade to VIP, then this might just be it. Okay, September. All right, I'm almost there, Amanda. You said there's so many different places here. Oh, I found it. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, Amanda, oh no, it didn't save it. Let me do that again. Tiffany, can you bring Amanda up for me if you can?
Is it Amanda Slade? Amanda?
Amanda Steedman.
Stedman? Okay.
Stedman, sorry, thank you. Everybody welcome Amanda to the stage.
I was going to ask which one, because there's two of us.
Yeah, I love that Tiffany asked for us. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And so, Amanda, you said you're not sure of what your season is right now, right? So I'm gonna pull. Okay, cool. And Amanda, do you know anything about astrology?
I know that I'm a Virgo rat.
Okay.
In the Chinese part, and I think when it comes to human design, I'm a manifesting generator. That's about it.
All right. Well, good to know. Okay. So really quick, so we're going to look at your sun, moon, and rising, and then we're going to look at like how that is all kind of working together for just like your natural rhythm. And then we'll see where we are right now in the world. So let's go ahead. Yeah. So our sun sign, just so you know, you all already know your sun sign. That is the sign that the sun was in when you were born. That's all that is. And so whenever you were born, right, the sun was in a particular place in the sky. And for Amanda here, it was in the sign of Leo. So you can see that right here with the circle with the dot. She is a Leo sun. And we're going to look at another one, which is the moon sign. So the moon sign is actually in many cultures more important than your sun sign. Your moon sign is your emotional energy. And I don't know about you, but my emotions are like the fuel to everything that I do, right? So our emotional energy is such the driver that it leads a lot of the things that we do. And so our moon is how we innately react and respond to our world. And so for Amanda, it is a Cancer. She's in the zodiac sign of Cancer. And that's also mine too, Amanda. So we are very much in tune with the actual lunar cycle, with the moon and how it's moving through the zodiac sign. So every 2 to 3 days, the moon changes zodiac signs. It moves really quickly. And so every couple of days, your energy may shift, Amanda, where like beginning of the week, you might got like a really good high energy, but then by the time you get to like Wednesday or Thursday, you're like, can I go to bed now? You're like, or your mind's all scattered all over the place and you can't seem to focus. And then there's like days where you're like on it, where it's like, yes, I got everything going. It oftentimes is the moon. So when I learned this, I blew my mind away because I was like, wait a minute. I can know when this is going to happen and prepare my work accordingly. And so that's legit what I do is I prepare how I work based on that. So, all right,
Life
Amanda.
changing, Danie. Life changing. Just sums me up right there.
Oh, perfect. And then you're also Cancer rising, which means how you see the world and how you want the world to see you is very nurturing and supportive and caring. And so that's like you're probably an optimist just like me. You're going to see the world in that kind of perspective, and you just want to give. You probably
I want to love everybody. Infinite well of love. Come get some.
Yes. That is the beauty of the Cancer energy. They want to give and they want to love. So for you, your natural energy is mixed in between. There's a lot of steam because we've got a lot of fire energy with that sun being in Leo, which is a fire element. And then the Cancer energy is water. So when we have fire and water, what happens? We get steam. So there's a lot of like, I see this in lots of love, but there's a lot of inaction because it's like I want to go, and then my emotions, depending on where I am emotionally driven, it's either going to go or I'm just going to hold it all back. And so oftentimes you might see like Coke bottle energy here, which is like if you shake the Coke bottle, it explodes all over the place, right? Or it can just sit there and be nice and pretty. Depends on how we move it. And so you're really driven by those emotions. So it's really important for you to be mindful of that emotional energy and how it does fluctuate from day to day. So my free gift, just so you guys know, is a moon journal. And in that moon journal, you actually can track the lunar cycle because there's eight cycles, 8 stages within the lunar cycle. So you can track each of those cycles, where the moon's at, what's going on with the moon, so that you can follow all of this and really know where your emotional energy is. Now, let me pull up what's called a transit wheel really quick in our last few moments here. And Amanda, where are you in the world right now?
I'm in Playa del Carmen in Mexico, which is an hour south of Cancun, and I've been here 8 years.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going there in December. I should come visit you.
Okay, margaritas on me.
Oh, sweet. Let's do it. All right. So right now, Amanda, so this new chart here has 2 different things happening. So our inside chart, this darker or this lighter purple is what we were just looking at. Okay, it's the chart that we were just looking at. This outside darker ring is what's currently happening up in our sky right now. And the really cool thing is that we can look at what's happening in our sky right now and how it's affecting your natal chart or your birth chart when you were born. So right now, when we look at this, anything that is below this line right here where you guys see my cursor, anything below that is more of an internal time. It's more of an introspection time. So I would say this is fall and winter. Right. So right now, Amanda, you are in fall. This first half right here, you are in the fall season. You are moving into winter, which is very interesting that you were like fall, winter. It's exactly where you are. You're right here. So your sun, which is our consciousness, is in that thinking of like, okay, it's time to let go of things, get rid of things. It's not a very open public time for you. So if I was looking at things in your life and your business, I would say this is more of a quiet time. It's more of an introspection time, especially over these next 3 months. Now, when we get into January, girl, it is your time because the sun will be right here and it's going to come up over here, and this upper half right here, this is the time to be seen, to be heard, to be visible, to be out there. So I would say, like, if you're looking at putting anything out in the world or doing anything big, it would be right here towards the end of January, beginning of February is when I would say would be that time. Right now, it's time to take it easy and relax.
Oh, yeah. Oh dear, I'm in like 6 summits. I should just tell them all I'm going to hibernate. It's not my time, people.
Because you're building.
You're building.
I love it. I love it. No, yeah, I love that because you can still like, so for me, this is a very open public time. So this is a great time for me to be out and public. But when I'm in my internal time, I'm still public. I'm still out there. I just don't purposely, try to plan things with that in mind because my energy is not at its best. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Is that
Very
helpful?
That's awesome, Danie. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank you. All right. I think I hit my time, Tiff.
Yes. Well, tell us real quick though about your VIP.
Yeah. So what I just did with Amanda, we've got 30 minutes to do that. So it's a Sacred Rhythms coaching session. So I'm going to pull up your chart just like I did for Amanda. Going to look at all the things, probably a little bit more than I looked at for Amanda because I only had a little bit of time. But we'll go in much detail. Plus you'll get to ask me as many questions as you possibly have about what about this and what about this. And we can do some forecasting looking into the future as well. So if you're somebody that like, there's a book you want to launch or there's an offer you want to make, if you're an entrepreneur, or maybe there's some decisions like some people are like, I'm thinking about moving, or I'm thinking about, getting married. Like, when's the best time to do that? I can also share you
Thank
that
you.
as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Jan wants you to sing us a tune.
Oh, okay. What do we want to sing? Oh, smile though your heart is breaking. Smile even though it's shaking. Though there are times when I don't know the words, just keep smiling every day. Just smile. What's the use in crying? How's that?
Oh, thank you for the impromptu singing
Yeah.
and serenading us. We very much appreciate it. Thank
Thank you.
you for a wonderful demo, song, and being my games master. So let's
Oh,
give some love and shout outs to Danie.
thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.